When Deidre woke that morning, she knew there was going to be trouble. She was sure it had to do with turning 17 the week before. In a split second, her whole world had changed. Now, the visions she saw weren't just about rescuing newspapers before the automatic sprinklers turned on, or saving a kitten from a tree. Now, the scenario turned deadly. She realized it when the tingling sensation began on her forehead and a snapshot formed in her mind. Just a brief image of a blurred profile of a teacher choking on a chunk of hot dog. She had to rescue her, and there would go her chances of ever having a boy ask her to the Valentine's dance. Everyone would know then how truly strange she was. But something else plagued the recesses of her mind. Something causing her skin to prickle with awareness. An uncontrollable fear that she'd been warned by her visions before and failed to save someone like she should have, chilled her to the core. She took a calming breath and yanked on her jeans, wishing the elusive memory would return so she could deal with it, face it head on, like a warrior on the battlefield, instead of shivering like a maiden in distress confronted with an unknown fear. "Deidre!" "Yes, Charlie, I'm coming," she hollered back at her twin brother. Her visions of second sight would nag at her until she accomplished her mission. This morning, they were going to make her late for school if she didn't hurry. This time it was different, though. This time, the situation was life-threatening. Her inaction could allow someone to die. Yet, the vague feeling that she'd been faced with a similar dilemma swept over her like an icy shower. She brushed a coating of blue powder on her eyelids, emphasizing her blue eyes, a little blush to color her ivory cheeks, and a dab of pink lipstick to cheer her lips brightened her pale complexion. Not that the guys would notice or anything. Once they knew how really weird she was, that was the end of even the beginning of a relationship. "Deidre! I'm coming!" she shouted back. She tucked her spandex long-sleeve t-shirt covered in butterflies and flowers into her jeans and slipped into her running shoes. Twisting her mouth in annoyance, she knew something was missing. Mascara. Brown mascara darkened her blonde lashes. Then she pulled her blonde hair into a ponytail. "Deidre!" She dashed out of her bedroom. "I'm coming!" Books in hand, they ran out to the red Dodge Neon together. She grabbed the passenger's door handle, but paused. "I want to drive this time." "Mom doesn't want you to." "Because of my visions." Their mom and dad had both been worried about her visions affecting her driving. What if she had one when she was in the middle of traffic? She couldn't be restricted for the rest of her life. Someday she'd have to work and get married. Of course, that was if she could ever get a boyfriend in the first place. "She's afraid you might have one while you're driving, then get into an accident." Just what she said. Or thought, rather. I have had visions while driving, and it doesn't affect it. "Geez, Deidre." Charlie climbed into the driver's side. "You never told any of us that happened to you while you were driving." By the time I'd realized I'd done it, I was already halfway home. It's like daydreaming. I still see the cars on the road, but I haven't remembered any of the usual landmarks on the way. Don't tell me you haven't done that yourself. Gotten distracted while you're thinking about the next girl you'd like to ask to go steady? She frowned at him as his bright blue eyes stared at her in disbelief. "I can't believe you didn't tell us." He backed out of the driveway. "If I did, you'd act like you are now." She rubbed her forehead. Ignoring the tingling in her temple wouldn't make it go away. Catching sight of her action, he took a ragged breath. "What now?" "Nothing." "Listen, the last time it was nothing. You climbed 20 feet into an elm to rescue a kitten because Mrs. McGregor's dog scared it up there." "Yes, and the police and fire department won't rescue treat cats. I know because I called and they said they won't. So, someone had to do it and you weren't around." Lifting her brows, she tilted her chin down at him to emphasize her point. He glanced at her. She shook her head. "Watch your driving, Charlie." You're more distracted than I ever am. You nearly fell out of that tree.